Hello and welcome to the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and today we have our special guest back, JD himself. Welcome, JD.
Thank you, George. I'm excited to be here again.
Awesome.
My biggest takeaways from these last two games is one of them is, you see here with, Rose being out, Mitch Robinson being out, a guy like Taj Gibson being over the hill, even though he's playing hard, he's giving us some production. But you see the need when franchises are, when a franchise has lottery picks, the importance of making sure you hit on them, and at the very least develop rotational players, because when you play in back-to-backs like the Philly game, that was a prime opportunity where if we had actual depth, right, Randle doesn't play 41 minutes, maybe he plays 34, right, and Obi, instead of playing 7 minutes or whatever it was, plays 18. But when you look at Knox, when you look at Obi, when you look at Frank, who has been getting minutes but hasn't produced anything offensively, it just frustrates me as a Knicks fan, and I reflect, and it's just frustrating to see what's happened recently with our drafts. I mean, the jury's still out on Obi, but as of right now, in the minutes he's getting, he's not impacting the floor, and he's not contributing to anything impactful for us. So that's one takeaway.
You couldn't be referring to the self block,
or you're talking about the one when he drove
the rim?
Oh my God!
Come on, man! Come on! What the hell is that?
You see,
seriously.
and that's part of what we discussed privately is the on-court awareness. And remember, I mentioned that a lot of people have been talking about Obi's defense, but one of the biggest concerns has been his lack of awareness offensively, in terms of where he's going out on the floor, the spots that he's asking for the floor, lack of technique in positioning himself in the paint, whether it's for the ball or for a rebound. He's just completely out of sync.
So right, man.
And I think that's what needs to improve in order for him to be effective. I think this season is probably going to be a wash for him, the way that he's trending.
And Obi, really, you know what? You nailed it there. Obi's issues are not on the defensive end. Yeah, he's not a good defender. Yeah, he's learning that. But he's mobile, he's active. I see him sometimes, he's disruptive. But it's the offense. If he was delivering on the offensive end what was promised us as Knicks fans when they drafted him, first of all, we'd be smiling right now because we would have won 2 games in a row against the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference.
Right.
I just feel that.
And Quickly's not a great defender. Quickly has a lot to improve there, and he's getting minutes. Why? Because he can score. Right. Obi's been compared a lot to Amari. Amari was never a great defender. He had spurts, he had seasons where he improved, right? But Amari's calling card was offense. And so Obi, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people focus on his defense, but his awareness on offense has been behind, and he was advertised as an NBA ready player, college player of the year, NBA ready from day one. That's what I was told from day one. And he's 23 now, so he's looking like more of a project. But we'll see next year, because I'm adjusting my expectations for Obi right now.
Yeah, I still have hope for him. I see that. I mean, he had no summer league. He had a shortened preseason, and he also has a player in front of him who is having a tremendous season. Basically, when the game starts getting a little bit out of hand, Thibs just pulls him because he's got Julius Randle who can come in, and we're looking for wins. So there's not that much patience with him right now, and that's just the situation that it is. He's a late bloomer. He's a little starry-eyed sometimes. He doesn't have that focus that you need. He gets a little bit rattled. Rattled's like I said before, that's not the right word, but I keep saying it because I mean, how else do you explain missing that dunk?
Deer in the headlights. He's just thinking too much. That's what's going on. He knows that he's going to go into the game for a maximum of 12 minutes. On a good night, he's going to play 12 minutes.
That's what he's been averaging all year, is 12 minutes.
Right. And recently he's been under that. And so he, when you have a young player with those expectations, right? His mother's on Twitter. His mother's invested in the team, is invested in him. He's in New York. You saw, his interview after he was drafted, how emotional he was. On TV, he sounds like he's okay. He looks like he's okay. He's cheering his team on. He doesn't look too down on himself. His body language hasn't been an issue. But I know inside, he has he's feeling a lot of pressure. And so what happens is you go into the game and Thibodeau is already a demanding coach and you overthink it. You're thinking a lot. You're thinking about the next mistake you're going to make, and you get a clear layup or dunk. And in the middle of while you're on air, he doesn't know if he wants to lay it up or dunk it. And that's what you get.
I hear you, but still, this is the offense. This is what you've been doing your whole life, making buckets.
Gotta be patient, George.
He was one of the 3 featured dunkers for the NBA All-Star Dunk Contest. This is who the NBA brought out to introduce to the world because it's the most viewed. It's more viewed, I believe, than the NBA Finals.
Gotta be patient.
And he was robbed. He was robbed. He should have won the dunk contest. But then when you see last night's play, you're like, wow.
Gotta be patient, George. I can't believe I'm saying that for a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
And we have a 20-year-old in RJ on the other end. So
that's the other thing.
That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been great. Thank you for coming by the Knicks-Verse. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do and hit that thumbs up button for us. And JD, if people want to find you, how should they do that?
Well, you guys will see me around, but if you want to connect, you want to find me at Twitter, JD Sports Market. Very simple, straight to the point. JD Sports Market.
Excellent. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm on Twitter as well, Knicks-Verse, and Instagram. See you around the Knicks-Verse.